Go ahead.
Ready whenever. Yeah. We recognize the importance of drinking age legislation as an environmental strategy that is intended to prevent youth from purchasing and consuming alcohol. We also acknowledge that in isolation, the drinking age legislation is unlikely to be effective. Research and experience demonstrate that a comprehensive approach incorporating a combination of strategies is required to reduce underage drinking and alcohol-related harms. The Alberta Alcohol and Drug Abuse Commission is committed to a range of actions that effectively prevent alcohol problems among youth and reduce the risk and negative consequences of alcohol use in all segments of the Alberta population. These actions will encourage personal responsibility and informed decisions about alcohol consumption.
Okay, back to this side.
The use of legislation to control the age at which you can purchase alcohol has nothing to do with segregation or anything like that. It's all about how the body develops. The brain is developing up until age 25. When you're using alcohol depresses the central nervous system and causes damage to it. So while your growing brain is getting damaged by drinking, especially as young people learn, they tend to overdrink to find their limits, and which causes more damage than any other thing. So the age is fine where it is. In fact, in the U.S., it's even higher. It's at 21, closer to the age when the brain stops growing to try and allow for the protection of the brain while it's growing.
Okay, back to you guys for your opening 4 points.
Okay, so the 2 points that I have is it could reduce or even eliminate unsafe drinking activities. One of the most dangerous times for drinking in the United States is between the age of 18 to 20. At age 18, people gain all of their legal adult rights, except for the right to drink. By allowing even supervised drinking for those age brackets, it can be reduce or eliminate risky drinking behaviors that could lead to bad decisions. And for my second point, lowering the drinking age would eliminate the thrill of drinking. So basically, eliminating the thrill by lowering the drinking age, and the taboo would be gone as well, encouraging normal alcohol consumption in a critical age bracket.
One of my points is that enforcing the 21-year-old drinking age is expensive and inefficient. It would be more effective to spend money on educating youth about alcohol than to spend it on enforcement of drinking laws for 18 and 20-year-olds. My second point is that raising the drinking age will only penalize an entire group of the population, which is 18-year-olds. In an attempt to control the behavior of those adolescents who drink and engage in harmful behavior.
All right, back to this side for your 4 points.
So I don't really know. There's not really a reason for why we would lower it. I don't see any reason that makes any sense. Teenagers need to learn how to drink before they begin constantly drinking, and if we make the ages lower at 16, our body isn't prepared for any huge amount of boost. So if we allow 18-year-olds or adults to begin when they feel like they can start drinking as much, learn how their body processes booze, and they need to learn, say, as they grow taller or as their brain grows, how much alcohol they can take without getting sick. So doing it at an early age where someone may not be developed physically or mentally changes the amount of alcohol that a person can take before they get sick, so they don't know their limit. So it makes more sense to keep the age limit to where growth is, or the physical and mental growth is getting closer to being finished, and teach them how much they can handle.
Lowering the drinking age will only shift the underage drinking problem down to a younger age. If, let's say, we lower the drinking age to 16 here, all of a sudden, those first 2 years of high school and those last years of junior high, all of a sudden they're just going to start thinking that, hey, if 16-year-olds can drink, why can't we drink? It's just going to shift the problem down in age bracket to parts where the body, to ages where people are less developed and could cause even more damage, could create early onset cirrhosis and brain damage. We're just pushing the problem downwards. We're not actually resolving the issue of binge drinking amongst youth?
And well, puberty in boys, these are stats, can last until age 20, sometimes age 21. Puberty for girls can last until 18, sometimes 19. So there's a lot of maturing to do. And at those ages, peer pressure is of high demand, or it happens a lot because kids want to be cool, kids want to fit in, kids are in high school and they want friends, and they figure, oh, if I take my buddy's beer, maybe I'll be cool. But then, without this maturity and without any experience, we tend to do things that we don't want to do, say, because we all know our sexual activity increases when we drink. It's just a fact. And as adolescents, we have way less experience with that. We don't know anything about that, and when we mix alcohol with immaturity, it can create something that we really don't want to happen, or something that can haunt you for the rest of your high school career. So irresponsible sexual activities or irresponsible basically activities of any sorts may arise with the immaturity.
Okay, so those are your 4 points. Now we take a minute break before we get into the open debate. Somebody's time for it, maybe? Is that clock going still? Okay. Just let me know when 60 seconds is up.
Time's up.
Okay. All right, it's time for open debates. Who's going to go first? Katie will start it off.
As you guys were saying that teens basically need to learn, I feel from personal experience that nobody can teach you that. You have to learn yourself. Like, I'm sorry, but you do. Like, you need to, like, you learn your own limits, and to lower it, it would just be better to learn it in that age group than older on later in life and become an alcoholic. Yeah.
Also, like,
Yeah.
lowering the drinking age will make alcohol less of a taboo. So, like, if you take away the thrill of it, then kids are not going to be drinking illegally because they're able to get it themselves, legally at least.
Okay. Joel?
To argue that underage people, they do drink anyways, and it's always going to happen. It's impossible, nearly impossible to stop that. But the amount of underage drinking stops. Like, if we lower the age, there would be significantly more drinking done by these young people because they have all this access to this booze and they may not be experienced. So I could go out and get way too much alcohol that I really can't handle. I wouldn't know that because if we're underage drinking, which is illegal, but people do it anyways, if we're doing that, there's a lot less chances for us to be able to access the booze because we have to go through an adult, and there's more fear of getting caught by, say, the police or your parents or a mature person telling you not to do that. So the amount of drinking done in that age group of people is a lot lower, and that's, even though it's illegal, we could maybe implement some kind of some kind of rules or something to allow for a minor amount of it, but it'll lower it a lot.
Jesse?
But
Oh, sorry, yeah, Jesse, then Aaron.
But
I can
if
see
you
your
keep
hand here.
saying, or you can break it down and promote and possibly increase the amount of illegal activities such as bootlegging and binge drinking or drinking in high-risk situations, such as occurring false identification and possibly the use of other drugs and other substances.
Aaron, go ahead.
The issue is that teenagers already have one of the highest risk rates for automobile accidents just because of their experience. Throwing alcohol into that mix, even if they're not drunk, even if they've had like 1 or 2 drinks, if their developing brain can cause great effects on their reaction time and creating more accidents. What we're dealing with is an organism that controls basically everything we do that's growing. And throwing alcohol on that at this time can cause reprehensible damage to them and to their lives.
Go ahead, Katie.
I have a statistic from you from WHO, which is the World Health Organization. In many countries around the world, the legal drinking age is already 18. In these countries, they have seen greater reduction of drunken driving accidents than the United States, where the legal drinking age is 21.
Jesse, go.
And also moving the drinking age from 21 only shifted the risk of fatal accidents from teens to young adults. And by prohibiting the teens from drinking in bars, restaurants, and public locations has the effect of forcing them to drink in unsupervised places like fraternity houses and house parties. So by lowering the drinking age, you will allow the teens to drink in regulated environmental supervision.
Aaron.
No one here is saying we should raise the drinking age to 21. That's probably one of the stupidest ideas the American public has ever made. They just had a very good lobbying group to get it to Congress. But the issue is that at 18, you're an adult. You can make these decisions. When you're 16, you're still living under your parents' roof. You have very few legal rights. At 18, you can decide you want to screw your life up. The issue. 16, do you really want to make decisions that can impact you for the rest of your life?
There's already other situations in life where you already make decisions that impact your life.
Okay, Aaron.
So why add more? Why make it easier to screw up your life?
Because potentially you're learning that making those decisions is leading you to a bad area of choice.
Kind of something more related to bad decisions, but this isn't related to the alcohol, it's more money-wise. So there's a stat here, in 2002, alcohol accounted for more than $14.6 billion in costs. That's $463 per person. So if we have 16-year-old kids spending whatever, say between $200 and $400 a year on booze, and I know when I was 16 years old, I was not making enough money to take out $500 or $200 to $500 on alcohol every year. So that's another problem for kids. Kids are spending money on stuff like liquor, and they could be spending money on something that could make themselves actually better, say something for school, and instead they're doing it on getting drunk.
Yes, but to also add to that fact, they're spending it on drugs as well. So,
Yeah, but
difference.
alcohol is, how did they get into drugs? I'm assuming if they're in an alcoholic background, there's probably be drugs there, there may be drugs there, and alcohol may introduce them to drugs. I'm not sure that you can really be introduced to drugs by studying for home as you're doing something. But if you're going to a party, the chance of you running into drugs is going to be way higher than being home and doing school.
Actually, not true. In stress-related situations, me bringing up ADHD, which I have, I take Adderall. I know people who have personally overdosed on Adderall because they're so stressed that they just take it, and continue taking it. And that has nothing to do with alcohol.
Okay, we'll end it there. That's the end of 5 minutes. All right, so time for 2-minute closing statements from each side.
When you start.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of mental and physical growth that a person may need to go through, especially at adolescence. And the idea of making the age of drinking lower, it doesn't really make any sense on why we need it any lower. These kids are less experienced, they aren't an adult, they can't make decisions for themselves. They're just learning how to drive, they aren't physically or mentally grown, and really there's no good reason for us to have to lower it anymore.
Okay. Matt, go ahead.
Okay. We feel like it does not make a difference if there is a drinking age. If teens want to drink, they will find a way to do it illegally or legally. 18-year-olds can apply for credit cards, legally marry without parental consent, divorce, rent,